Take a seat.
Yeah, good evening, panelists. My name is Ngap Boon from Sisu. You just now project that inflation will go down by 2 to 3%, right? Next year, 2 to 3%, but food, hawker food, I don't mean NTUC, fair price. Hawker food, transport, and energy-related products, are they going to come down?
I think Brother Yap Kun has got a more, a very important message there, which is that in the year 2009, many of the workers will still be concerned about their cost of living, even though inflation is going to come down to 1 to 2%. Because in the year 2008, many of the workers are worried about cost of living because high inflation. But in the year 2009, many of the workers are still going to worry about cost of living because of the cut in their total wage. Year-end bonus will be dropping. AI, you're not going to see a repeat of what we have this year. Yeah. So in other words, the take-home pay on a total basis of the workers will be affected in the coming year. So therefore, I take what Brother Yap Kun say seriously, in a sense that I think cost of living will continue to be a concern in 2009, not so much because of the inflation, but more because of the downturn of the economy, and as a result, their total wage will be affected. So what we can assure you is that the tripartite partners, we will continue to monitor the situation very closely and introduce measures, right, to help to soften the impact. So for example, the labor movement, I think you know, on a normal year, we come up with about 7 million, direct financial assistance about 7 million under our care and share program. On a normal year, typical year, 7 million. This year, because of the high inflation, we increased our budget from 7 million to 13.1 million. We almost double our budget. Yeah. At this moment, I'm not able to tell you what is the budget we're working on for 2009, but I can tell you for sure, it will be significantly higher than the 13.1 million this year. And next year, not only we're going to increase the budget significantly, we're also going to mobilize on the total support, total effort of our partners. So for example, next year, in addition to money coming from the NTUC, coming from SLA, coming from the cooperatives, we are going to involve the union as well. So the unions, you'll be part of fundraising exercise. Your members, your union leaders, including your companies, the management who are supportive of the labor movement. So in other words, we're going to adopt an inclusive effort, all right, so that as we go to this downturn, not only we're going to extend more help to our low-wage workers, low-income households, but more importantly, we want to do it in an inclusive way, so that our workers, our members can feel that it's not just a question of having more financial support given to them, but the kind of emotional support that we're committed to rally together. Yeah. And likewise, I'm very sure the government will do its part as well. Yeah. So at this moment, I would say that yes, we should worry about the impact of the downturn on the cost of living, for the cost of living not in the form of inflation, but in the form of a weaker total wage for next year. But at the same time, let us also take assurance, take comfort that the more help will be forthcoming to our low-wage workers.
I'm Michael Koh from HDB Staff Union. I think as a labour movement, we have done a great part in helping workers to go for training, as well as helping them to look for a job. I'm looking at to help them in a holistic manner. We should also look at the mental and emotional aspect of the workers. As you know, in the last economic crisis, there was a case of this man who gave $2 to the son to buy a chicken rice, and he went to the MRT track and he jumped down. So I hope that maybe I'm just suggesting some kind of a crisis hotline. Maybe may not, the labour movement may not be in a position, but I believe there are those self-help groups which are able to help this group of workers. Right, thank you.
I agree with what Michael said. Within the labour movement, we are giving a lot of priority, a lot of attention to our retrenched workers. Because, you see, I mean, we said it before. Unemployment in Singapore could be 2.2%. But for a person who lost his job, unemployment is 100%. And for some of them, this could be the first time in their life, that they ever lost a job. Yeah. So to them, the emotional shock is also something that we take take lightly. So in the recent months, in fact, the E2I has been working very hard. So under the leadership of Z, together with our ED from this Heng Chee, so now we've reinforced by Ikang. Now we today have a very strong team in place now, in looking after this employment and employability part. So whenever there's a retrenchment exercise, today I think we have a much better managed process. In terms of managing the process with the management, but more importantly, managing the process between the union and the workers, and the E2I. I would not want to go into too much details, except to say that for those retrenched workers who are now receiving support from E2I through this collaborative effort, the feedback has been tremendous. We have retrenched workers actually having come to E2I, look at the kind of support we're able to offer them. Some of them come to the conclusion that whatever E2I can offer them is not what they are looking for. So, but even so, they still express their appreciation. They say that at least I know that there's somebody out there who cares for me, who talk to me, who ask me, what can be done in terms of, in some cases they say, look, all I need you to do is help me to write resume, because I've never done a resume writing before. So can you extend help for me? So we say, sure, we have to write resume. In some cases, they of course ask about, can they go for certain kind of training, certain kind of conversion, and so on. But I agree with what Michael says. So I think my suggestion to you is that as and when you come across any retrenchment exercise, I think pay attention, spend time with them. Our DBSSU, anyone here? Not here. DBSSU? They're all busy, I think. No, seriously, the DBSSU under the leadership of Nora, they've been working very hard. They've been very hard engaging with the retrenched workers, including those who are non-union members. Basically, the DBSS approach is that yes, now that they are all retrenched, we're all fellow workers before. So they actually reach out to them and then introduce them to E2I. And I think now E2I, there's a lot that's happening over there. And I think we should likewise do for all the rest. By the way, whenever I talk about DBS, I can see a lot of negative. DBS, having gone through that, what happened between us and DBS was a no-win situation. No-win situation. We were upset by the retrenchment action taken by DBS, not so much the retrenchment itself, but the lack of consultation. So we were upset because on the day of announcement, we were not able to tell our members that yes, the union were consulted, and yes, the union understand why the need for this retrenchment. Yes, the unions, in fact, support the retrenchment, and yes, this is why the union and management are working together to help you. We were upset because on the day of announcement, we were not able to say yes to all these questions, without sufficient private consultation. On the part of management, they are also upset with us for publicly criticizing them. So today, if you look at the situation, it's no win, right? So some of you may think that, good, Set-Gen wallop them, right? But let me tell you, I took no pleasure at all because it's a no-win situation. The reason why we decided to come up public is at least send a message to everybody else that, look, this is, if you have to retrench workers, we want to do it together. We want to do it together. We want to go through the journey together with you. As a labor movement, we do not resist retrenchment at all costs. Every year, if you look at the number just now shared by Chi Hao, right? If you look at the retrenchment, every year, good year, bad years, there will always be workers being retrenched. All right? And the NTUC, the labor movement, what we've done over the years is to keep working closely with the companies, understand why the need for retrenchment, all right? Explore other alternatives, and if that is not possible, walk the journey together, explain with the workers, carry the ground, line up a system program, and then help the retrenched workers to move on with their life. All right? So we are not resisting retrenchment at all costs. So I think what we are concerned about, if more and more companies were to embark on retrenchment without consulting the unions, then we have a problem. We have the problem because then the trust level between the labor movement and the workers and the management, I think will be affected, will be weakened. Yeah, so that's the reason why. Having said that, I want to also share with you that arising from the episode, I think the DBS management and the DBSSU and the NTUC, we have actually have a very frank exchange of view. We got in touch together at all levels to understand. So we try to make them understand us better, why we were concerned about the process of retrenchment that took place, that had taken place. At the same time, they try to make us understand better why DBS needed to take the retention path. All right. So I would say that today, both parties now have a much better understanding, and both sides have made the commitment now to work closely together. We cannot undo what has been done, but we can make sure that whatever happened at DBS from now onwards, there will be closer collaboration, closer consultation, closer cooperation from both sides. So take, for example, the case of training. Having discussed all this, the management asks us, now what can be done in order to take this one step forward in a positive way? So NTUC and DBSSU make a suggestion. We say these retrenched workers need to go for retraining, and some of them will to come up with their own payment, or subsidies 80%, 90%, but not 100%. So some of them may need some financial support. And DBSSU, you know what they did? The DBS management, what they did? They immediately agreed. And in fact, they allocated $100,000 to the DBSSU. So the staff union today is managing a $100,000 training fund. And they're now using this fund to match all the other programs under SPURS, under E2I. So in this way now, at least the workers were retrenched. Now if you want to go through professional conversion, go for retraining, not only they can receive support under SPUR, they will also be able to draw on the support from this $100,000 training fund provided by the company. So I would say that every experience is every negative experience can be turned into a positive outcome as well. So I think as a result of what happened, I think today the management of the union, I think we're in a much we have achieved a much better mutual understanding. Yeah, I think we just have to move forward. And we just hope that what happened between DBS and DBSSU and NTUC, we hope that this will not be repeated in other companies, because I can tell you it's a no-win situation. Yeah, so let us at all costs try to avoid that. So that's why it's important you stay close to the ground. All right. You see anything moving only, don't hesitate. Approach the management. Ask for dialogue, ask for mutual consultation. If that's not possible, you have NTUC, RO, NECR department. If that's still not possible, send me an email. Yeah, and then I will make myself available to you too. Yeah, but hopefully I don't have to do too much of that. Hopefully, if the LMR is good, then I think all this process will be able to take place at the working level. Yeah. Thank you.
Can I have your permission to call it a day? So bear in mind what has been presented. There are handouts for you. You can discuss it with your ex-co. You can discuss it with your IROs. You can come back to NTUC for further discussion should anything move. Okay? Thank you. Good night.
Take a seat.